So the top comment on my last video, Be Dangerous, is from one of our friends. He calls himself Junk Mail. 35 thumbs up. That is, I assume that means that there are many of you with the same sort of question, for it to be that popular. He goes on to say what he goes on to say is, Elliot Hulse, I don't know what to do. My family is dysfunctional. Aren't they all? We don't communicate emotionally and we only speak in shallowness. I seem to be depressed. I can't express myself the way I want to in the world. Everything seems wrong to me. My mom doesn't have that motherly function of comfort and softness. My dad is quiet but judges harshly. My older sister acts like an emotionless woman. Women should be full of emotion, shouldn't they? My brother also is very depressed. I can't fix this. Dude, if you've been watching my videos for some time, you probably have heard me speak on the ills that create this schizoid condition where we've totally detached from our bodies and live our lives as walking heads. Like you said, that you only speak in shallowness. That word is interesting. That means you really don't go very deep. There's no warmth in your communication with your family. So I'm not going to go into that right now, because what I'm really fixated on is an old concept, comes from the Bible, an Old Testament concept that the sins of the parents will be passed on to the children. The children will bear the sins of the parents. And it's so true, because the way you're conditioned is a product of the way your parents were conditioned. And they just pass that shit on generation after generation after generation. Your mom and dad are cold and harsh, unloving, because their parents were cold and harsh and unloving. You speak about your mom not really having that warm, womanly, motherly comfort. Her mom probably didn't give her much of that, so she has nothing to give you. The sins of the parents are bared by the children, and it will keep going on. You say your sister is emotionless and cold. She will do the same thing to her children. It's not going to stop. It's cyclical. Okay? It's just an observation. It's not a condemnation. It's not a curse, God it was so angry that he said that the children will bear the sins of the parents. No, it's an observation. I will take full responsibility for the fact that my children have a lot of my neurosis. I'm fucked up. We're all fucked up. And my special kind of fucked upness will show up in them. And I've got a little special kind of fucked upness that my parents have. Both of them. I can look at both of them and be like, I got that shit from you, I got that shit from you. There's also blessings that are passed down from one generation to the other. But there's also a very interesting thing that happens with families, especially, there are multiple children in yours. And it seems like everybody's functioning from the same paradigm of coldness, detachment, schizoid, right? What has happened to you is, in a lack of better terms, of course I'm being poetic here, but you've been blessed. For some strange reason, let's say perhaps a genetic mutation, right? We can look at it as evolution. Evolution is happening through you, or you're blessed. Whatever, however you want to look at it. The fact is, you're not the same as them. And you're at a point in your life where you're looking around and you're like, oh shit, this is all fucked up and I'm swimming in this mess. I don't know what to do. You're a black sheep, if you will. And the reason why I know that is because you wouldn't approach me with this question if you weren't already steeped in the sinfulness of detachment that your parents have been conditioning you to receive. They don't do this because they hate you. They don't do this because they're bad people. They do this because this is all they know. And your sister and your brother, in certain ways they're gone. They're lost. Okay? Doesn't mean they can't be found, but they're already lost. Not you. You see and sense that there's something wrong. The very first thing that I want you to do is maintain your grounding. It's going to be very difficult because the reason why they are the way they are is because they built up defenses against fears in their lives. You can start to become very entangled with the circumstances and allow yourself to be touched in such a way that you have to fight against it, and then your defenses become neurosis. Also, they're neurotic. And that's what neurosis is. We build up defenses against hurtful things in our lives. This is a hurtful thing to you. I don't want you to become too neurotic. We're all neurotic. But I don't want you to be touched too deeply by this. You're still very soft. You're still very supple. You're still very feeling. And that's why you're approaching me the way that you are, with the question that you have. Try to maintain that. You can't maintain it, that subjectivity or that objectivity. Subjectivity. I use those words so often. You can't maintain yourself. You can't keep yourself here, right? You could rationalize and you could tell yourself stories, and they are helpful, very helpful. I share a lot of stories with you that help you. Stories to tell yourself, ways to condition your mind in order to not be damaged by the circumstances. But observe your body, because the defenses show up in your body. Notice the tension in your shoulders, in your chest. You probably have a lot of it in your chest. Tell me if you have asthma. You probably have a lot of it in your chest. And that is a neurotic holding pattern. It's a physical manifestation of a psychological defense. Do you understand? Notice your belly. Notice your legs. Notice your hands, your neck, your face. Where are you holding tension? And just bring your attention. Bring your attention to the tension. Breathe into your balls, all right? Breathe deeply and relax the muscles, especially when you're in these circumstances, when you're swimming in the shit. Stop for a moment. Breathe 5 times. Just stop and breathe 5 times. You're feeling it. Why is everybody against me? Why is this place such a mess? Stop. Because you're going to start building defenses against the hurt. Stop and breathe. Go somewhere. You need solitude. Go somewhere alone. You need a little bit more alone time. Don't use that alone time to dig yourself into depression. Use that alone time to defend yourself by getting back in touch with yourself and not allowing your body to be damaged by the circumstances. Very difficult. It requires a very meditative attitude, consistent, persistent attitude of, I need to be aware of my surroundings. You need to be aware of your surroundings so that you can get out of this shithole alive without that much damage. Hopefully you're very young. You know, if you're 14, you know, you're just starting to figure this shit out. Or maybe, you know, you could be older and you could potentially be a bit wiser. And whatever the case is, you clearly have something that they don't. And then tell yourself this story. 2 of them. The first one, thank you God, thank you universe, thank you evolution, thank you science, for putting me in this situation where I am experiencing a particular challenge that's going to force me to grow in a way that's unique to me so that I can share my newfound strength with other people in the same circumstances. You're going to get out of this alive, and you're going to look around and you're going to notice there are a lot of other kids. You'll probably end up like, 25, 30, and you're going to look back at and you're going to see 14-year-old kids. Don't ignore them. Don't ignore them because they were just like you, who are in the same circumstances, who are in the same situations. It's your job now. You've taken on a new job to help those kids. It's your objective. You need to go get out alive so that you can help them. Your pain and suffering is not just for your growth. It's so that you have a perspective to share it with kids who are in the dark. Okay? The other story is life goes on. And that means whatever you can cultivate within yourself is a seed which will bear fruit for a future generation. You may have children of your own, and you're going to do it totally differently. Not saying that you won't make them neurotic, but you'll give them a new special kind of evolved type of neurosis. Right? I make my kids neurotic, but we hug and kiss and we cuddle and we tickle and we play and we read to our kids. But I know I'm screwing them up also because I've got some weird things going on also. So that's it, man. It's guys like you. It's funny. I read your question and I was so grateful for it because it's guys like you, kids like you, that give me a sense of purpose in my life because I got through a lot of shit, right? I wasn't hungry. I wasn't poor. I had parents that cared for me, and I think all of our parents really do care for us. They were good parents. But I had a few challenges. And a lot of those challenges created a rebellious attitude in me that fuels my desire to share what I've learned with you guys through these videos. So of course this is not about me, but I want to extend a form of kinship with you. Let you know that you're not alone, and that this is life. It's a beautiful thing with the right perspective, and if you use the tools that are available to you. And that's kind of what I hope to share through these videos. Good luck, man.